The two-part system was meant to help government employees, but if you misunderstand it, it could quietly undo decades of hard work. On the surface, it sounds like flexibility, relief, even a safety net. But I want to be very honest with you today. This system will expose financial behavior, and for many government employees, that exposure will lead to a lot of regret. My name is Dhevan Naicker, and I am the author of What They Don't Want You to Know About Retiring or Resigning. I'm a retire versus resign specialist, and I focus specifically on government employees like yourself. In today's video, we are going to do a deep dive into the two-part system and what you need to be aware of. I'm going to be sharing with you 5 key elements as usual. And the first thing that I want to share with you is the system isn't the problem, behavior is. You see, the two-part system itself is neutral. It doesn't reward, it doesn't punish any of the members. The outcome depends entirely on your behavior. Discipline will lead to protection, but impulse is going to lead to regret. The system doesn't hide on those habits, right? It exposes them very, very quickly. Now, what is it that I mean by this? Remember, part of the two-part system or the way in which it functions is a portion of your money that you contribute every month is getting saved in a savings benefit. And usually, before this two-part system was initiated, you would only be able to access your pension benefits either by retirement or resignation, but you could only access this the earliest at age 55, right? So if you were 40, you had a long time to wait. If you were 30, even longer, right? And what's happened now, and this is not just exclusive for government employees, it's throughout South Africa, is you can now access a portion of your pension benefits every single year, and you can access it even before you're 55. So this again brings a nice benefit. However, we've got to understand the rules, right? What does it mean? And as I was sharing with you, this could become a costly situation, especially if someone doesn't have the discipline. So you can access a certain portion of your money every single year. The problem is you will be taking a rand amount out of your pension fund. So at the time of recording this video, it was 30,000 that you could access. So you could access 30,000 out of your fund. So let's assume this is your entire fund. A separate portion that you could access was this 30,000. The balance is now going to be kept in a savings pool for you until you get to 55. Now, the challenge is when you are accessing money from here, that 30,000 we know as a rand value, but in terms of the pension fund, because it's working according to a set of rules, at a later stage when you are exiting, the formula may not come to exactly 30,000. It could come to a much higher value, which means we're taking a small amount now and it has a larger impact at a later stage. So, which is the second thing that I want to share with you today. It's those small withdrawals. It could create big future gaps. See, a withdrawal is, for example, the 30,000. It doesn't reduce your balance straight away, right? It's almost camouflaging it, but it could compound, again, depending on your discipline factor. So if you create every situation as something where you need cash, then over time, this could quietly become a significant gap. Now, again, most government employees won't realize the damage that's being caused until many years later, but by then it's too late to fix it because at that point in time, they're closer to retirement or resignation, and accessing the money means taking out whatever's left behind minus whatever had been withdrawn, right? Again, remember, keep in mind that it's formula-based. Now, also important to be mindful of is when you are accessing that savings portion, it is a taxable benefit. I have had government employees asking me, okay, how is the tax going to be calculated? Because it's a pension benefit, is it going to be operating on the same tax table where you get a portion of your money tax-free? Now, it's not the case. Although this is pension money, SARS uses a different tax table. So let's understand how the two would operate. At the time when you come to retirement or resignation and you pass 55, there's a special tax table that is used to calculate the lump sum that you are receiving. At the time, again, of me recording this video, that amount was 550,000, but it's usually reviewed and it could go higher. So that means you get a portion of your money that's tax-free. Now, if you are withdrawing some money from the savings pool on the two-part side, you are withdrawing that money. It's not really a retiral yet or resignation, right? You're just accessing a portion of your money prematurely. So you're not going to tap into that table. You're not going to have any access to any money that's going to be tax-free. What you are doing is taking a portion of money, and that would be treated at, or in a way, I think the best way for me to describe it to you is, let's see it as income, right? So treat it as income. You're now taking this money as income. And what SaaS is going to do is, here's your salary. They're going to take this amount that you are withdrawing. They're going to add the two together. And when they add the two together, this is the problem, because it can now push you up into a higher tax bracket. So from a tax perspective, just to make math very easy for you, let's just say on your salary, you are taxed at a 30% tax rate. Now, when you are withdrawing money out of the two-part system, then the same tax rate could apply, right? It could be the same or it could be higher, depending again when SaaS does your calculation. If they add up everything and it comes to a higher value, then again the tax becomes a problem. Now, emergency, the third thing that I want to share with you is emergency access is not lifestyle access. So the savings pot is designed for genuine emergencies, right? Not everything in life is going to be an emergency. So again, discipline kicks in. It's not lifestyle upgrades. It's not short-term pressure relief. It's not, something that you want to buy at this point in time. And usually, if it's casual, or again, our mind creates this perception, right, that if there's something that you want, it sometimes doesn't want it a few weeks from now, a few months from now, a few years from now, right? It wants it immediately, right? You might see, I'm using basic examples, maybe a fancy pair of shoes, a fancy dress, a new cell phone, deposit for a car, paying off the balance of your car. All these things, your mind could now play tricks with you. It could tell you, hey, listen, it's an emergency. Why not access this money straight away, right? Because our minds at times can become lazy. It looks for the path of least resistance, right? What's the easiest way to get out of this and to have this desire that we've got created? So having those regular withdrawals can become a challenge if you lack the discipline, because it's so easy to tap into it, right? Which is why I want to encourage you. The best thing to do in cases like this is to create what I call an emergency fund. So imagine that you are contributing towards the pension fund. You still have the savings benefit intact, right? That's part of the two-part system. But imagine if you could create, from your salary, you take a portion of your money aside every month. I'll use an example. Let's say 1,000 Rand. You keep 1,000 Rand aside every month. It could even be 100 Rand, right? Because we want to get into the habit of saving. So it could even be 100 Rand. It doesn't have to be 1,000. Let's say it's 100 Rand. You now are saving this every month for 12 months. You now have 1,100 Rand. That's money that you can access tax-free without affecting your pension benefit. So imagine you can keep doing this over a period of time, even if it's a tiny amount, just to get the habit going. Then at some point in time in the future, touch wood, an emergency comes up. You don't have to rely on what's sitting in the two-part system and having a problem at a later stage. You know that you've got your emergency fund set in place. You can access from that. Now, sometimes it can be difficult to set aside a large amount, like 1,000 Rand, 2,000 Rand, or 5,000 Rand. That's perfectly fine. What you want to do, as I've been sharing with you now, is just get into the habit of saving something small. So for myself, I set a system in place where at one stage I was just saving 10 Rands, right? It's such a tiny amount, but the amount for me was insignificant. I just wanted to get myself into the habit of saving some money. So each month on my salary, I would take 10 Rand, I'll put this into a savings benefit. And then each time I found myself, hey, listen, this is okay, I'm getting better. Let me try and put 20 Rand aside. Let me try and put 30 Rand aside. You see, eventually I was able to save higher amounts because my mind could understand, hey, listen, by me saving this money, I'm still able to live comfortably. I'm still able to do the things that I want to do. And also it makes it a lot more tax efficient, which is the fourth thing that I want to share with you, right? Is tax can make the cost much higher for government employees than what you can expect. See, what many government employees underestimate is the tax impact. Withdrawals don't just come to you in full. Tax is applied and that permanently reduces what you have invested inside of it. So the real cost is not just on the withdrawal itself, it's the money that could have grown over time. I've just discussed this earlier, that you might be accessing a portion of the money assuming that it's tax-free. Please do not make this mistake. I've seen many government employees expect to get the full amount out of that savings benefit, but in reality, it's not the full amount that's paid out because it's a taxable benefit. I've also had some really, really sad cases where members reach out to me for support saying they didn't receive a cent. Keep in mind that SARS, if you are owing them any funds, they would want to take whatever they're entitled to first. So let's assume you want to withdraw 30,000, but you weren't submitting your returns on time, or you have some penalties, or you're owing SARS some money. They're now going to take what's due to them first and then pay the balance to you. So keep in mind, we want to understand this properly, and we also want to make sure that we can create some type of discipline for ourselves. Now, the decision should never be about or should never be made in isolation. When you're planning something like this, it's best to reach out to a specialist. This is the fifth point that I want to share with you, by the way. It's understanding that sometimes there's some decisions that we can make on our own and some decisions that best to be made when we're in the presence of a specialist. Could be someone like myself or a financial advisor or someone specializing for government employees so that they understand the rules, they understand exactly what needs to be done, and more importantly, they understand the impact that accessing money from the two-part system could have for you in the future. Now, in closing, I want to share with you that if this video has been helpful and helped to clarify some things for you, then I invite you to subscribe to the channel. That helps, again, with more government employees being able to see the content. I also invite you to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they too could have a solid understanding of this. And if you are unsure of something or you have a comment that you want to share with us, then I invite you to post the comment below. I reply to each of the comments personally, so I'm happy to help do that for you. If there is one thing that I want you to take away from today's video, it is this. Just because you have access to that money doesn't mean that you should. The two-part system didn't just remove the responsibility. In fact, it has increased it. And before you touch that savings, you want to make sure that you understand how it affects you, not just what's happening now, but how it's going to affect you in the future as well. I'll catch you in the next video.